Gerone Wright here, and once again you're joining me on my Gerone Wright YouTube channel here on YouTube. I have a picture up here of a pig pen with pigs lying about, lounging, and so to speak. Here's another image. I'm going to get to the main point. I just want to show you something here. Here's another pig pen where you can see the pig frolicking around in the muddy area. See the guys there? And I have a graphic image coming up of a pig slaughtered thing, but I'll let you know. I'll warn you when that's going to come up. But here's another image online. Pig and pen. You see that sloppy mess there? All up. Okay. Here's the image of the pigs coming up. This is a slaughter pit, where I guess the pigs died off and the farmer made a pit, and he actually took in these pigs are actually deceased in a hole where they guess they're on a pig farm where they throw them in a hole and then they eventually cover them over. But it looks like maybe 600, maybe 700 pigs that have died and been tossed in the pit. Okay. These images that I'm using, and I'm going to use them in an example of my video about the way our world is and how we currently live. And our world is not what we actually believe or think that it is. Okay, that was another pig pen. Okay, and here's another pig here lounging in the mud. Now I'm going to leave this last one up here of this pig lounging in the mud because I want to go on to the point that I'm actually trying to make. You wouldn't want to live in that after a pig actually called that his home or made that his home. You wouldn't want to make a sandbox area or a place for your child to actually play in afterwards. You wouldn't send your child out to play in this. Or you wouldn't, it's a place that you know that there's waste there and it's associated with pig slop, rats, and everything. And you just wouldn't want to be inhabited of this. You say, no, that's spoiled land. I don't want to be involved in that. Well, it's my position that our entire world is actually that. Our entire world is a pig pen. So how do I arrive at that? Well, the first existences to grace this planet, this so-called lovely planet of ours, were the dinosaurs. Here's an image of a dinosaur, a reconstruction, a remake of a dinosaur, what a dinosaur would actually be. And these creatures roamed every mass area, every land mass area of our world. They died, they urinated, they defecated, they did everything. These creatures weighed, in the tons. 5, 6, 7 tons. These creatures were half reptile, lizards, so to speak. So therefore, that's another thing too that actually gets me with this theory about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs would not have been able to thrive in an environment like this here, because this would have been considered a desert to them. Like we would be in an environment of a desert. These creatures had to be near water, in and out of water, because they were lizards, they were reptiles. They were not completely inhabited to just land. These creatures had to be back and to and from with the water because they were lizards. And this is something that I believe that science is missing as well too, because a dinosaur, in my mind, would have to be frolicking and in mud like we would see our pigs, our elephants of today, or our hippos, our crocs. This is the type of an environment that these creatures would have been in, like almost like an Amazon of filth. It wouldn't have been nothing that would have been no pretty scenario. Now, this would have been our entire planet surface, because these creatures from their largest forms were here first. So that means that we are actually in the wake of existence of their waste. So what we inherited of our world is a pigsty or a dinosaur sty. This is what they left. And this is what we were raised out of. This is what we evolved out of the waste, or out of the wake of the existence of the dinosaur. An environmental mess. This is where our existence comes from. Now just imagine what was left behind by the dinosaur. We're talking everything from the bodily fluids to death in the soils. We're talking about an area of almost, let's say, almost of like a nuclear contamination type scenario. These creatures urinated, defecated, died all over all of the lands of our world. I don't care how many billions of years ago you want to say it actually occurred. Because what I'm about to say next is going to ring very true to you. Now, let me get us some trees here, vegetation. I'm going to leave this up here. How many minutes do I got? Okay, I got plenty of time. I'll have to put some more around. Now, the dinosaurs roamed all of the lands of our world. Every single part of it. They contaminated. The dinosaurs contaminated every landmass of our world that was in existence, except for the newly formed by volcanic activity. However, these creatures, some became carnivores, but for the most part, these creatures ate vegetation. They were vegetarians. You know what that means? All of the trees of our world today, what do we have? A tree that might, if we're lucky, a tree might be a few thousand years old today. That means that these creatures, the trees that are in existence today, every tree, I gotta sneeze, I believe. Excuse me. Excuse me. Every tree, every soil, every vegetation that is in our world today has been processed billions of years ago through the bodies of the dinosaur. You know what this means? That the trees that we have today, the trees that we are experiencing today that support our life, come from seeds that were spit out of the anus of a dinosaur. Because they ate all of the first vegetation, the original vegetations of our world, to support their life. Millions of dinosaurs ate millions and millions of flower seeds, of trees, of every type of plant life you can possibly ever imagine. They ate it and then shitted it out to create other forms of life forms, which actually came through, were bridged through their body. Do you get the picture of what I'm stating here? What I'm stating is that it's no different than the pig that is here. And that pig, my trash man is running, so we got to talk over the trash truck. If these pigs ate everything, hold on. If these pigs ate everything around here, the seeds of life that was here in these plants. Let's say tomatoes. You know how there's tomatoes have seeds and you shit them back out, or defecate them back out, poop them out, whatever how you want to say it. Orange seeds, apple seeds. I'm stating that if these chemistries go into the body, the living body of this creature, go through this creature's digestive system, then those seeds subsequently become contaminated by that process. And when they're pooped back out of this guy, it carries DNA properties of this pig character. People, what I'm suggesting is that every plant that is on our planet today have in one way or another, every tree, every flower, even in the, whether it's may it be oceanic or may it be on land, in one way, shape, form, or another, been infected by the dinosaur life. Whether it was by their bodily fluids, whether it would have been urine, secretions from semen, secretions from their anus, poop, defecation, or just from being digested. This guy eating this and then pooping it back out, which is genetically altered the genetic structure of these plants. Because now, what was once there in its purity, the dinosaur then ate, then contaminated, placed it in its body, added anything of its chemistry in its body back out, and then when these plants were now reseeded, bridged, genetic bridged through a live being and comes back out, it's altered. And this is what we are living in today. I like to compare it to all of this land being similar to a pig pen that was once in ownership of the dinosaurs. We live in the wake of that. All of those millions and millions and millions of dinosaurs has somewhere in some place died, like these pigs have here, and been placed all in a DNA well, not in a DNA, but in a death pit. Now, what do you think would happen years from now? Years from now. Now, these elephants go to a certain place and die, so we're assuming that our dinosaurs did as well too. How many minutes I got? Plenty. Okay, a few minutes. People, imagine years from now, after decomposition that took its place, nothing, even the fossilized remains are gone. You go here and you plant a seed for an apple tree or whatever, or even in the midst of that time, you go and place a seed there, and an apple tree starts to grow, an orange tree starts to grow, or anything, cabbage, lettuce, or any carrots. Don't you want to reasonably believe that this takes an effect? This takes an effect on the food or the vegetation that's going to be produced above ground. This is what I'm proposing about these dinosaurs, what they did to our land. Through their death, through their existence, through their eating habits of eating one form of plant, I'm stating that it was transformed or metamorphosed into something else through their body. And what we enjoy today are trees, are vegetables, or fruits, or vegetables, everything that we consume today. The very grounds, the grass, everything that we enjoy today, it's my position, came through the bodies of these creatures because they consumed it and ate it and enjoyed it first. And what we are experiencing is not the direct properties of that seed. I'm stating that the seed had been broken down or been interrupted. The chain of that seed has been interrupted through the body of the dinosaur because they ate it and then shitted it out with their DNA in it. So basically what we are dealing with is by-waste products of that. I'm going to have to put more in writing because my time is up. See you on my next video.